Pretty pistols. Faith in my pretty killer, she can do no wrong. Even when she downs my soul and leaves blood upon my hands. Her smoky perfume quickens my blood like no other vice. Not even whiskey, tobacco, or dyes. I'll admit diplomacy is a wiser cause, but to be frank, I prefer my pretty pistol wrapped in leather at my side. I want my crazy 5 round. I have faith in my pretty killer, she can do no wrong. Even when she damns my soul and leaves blood upon my hands. Her smoky perfume quickens my blood like no other vice. Not even whiskey, tobacco, or dice. I want my pretty pistol. That's Pretty Pistol. So that's a little poem about little Johnny Cash. We're going to eventually put that bit of music there as well. And the theme of the song is Folsom Blue. I shall down in Rio just to watch them die. But what actually happened was I took my trip and I left Dunedin and I hit the Catlins, and that was a great particular section because throughout that entire period it started the whole kind of shaped the whole what I was trying to do, which was try and capture the beauty of the country but also look at some of the thornier sides and give it a real three-dimensionalism. So that my book's a little bit of kind of a cross between The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, except that there's not words on the back say that don't say don't panic and large screen blue letters. And in fact probably the theme for my book would have been panic lots. But cross between Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and The Lonely Planet. With a little bit of a mixture of Louis Theroux and a little bit of a dash of Kitchen Confidential thrown in. And the beginning of my trip through the Catlins, I looked at such things as the issue of shipping throughout New Zealand, the whole issue of ecotourism, and that began a wonderful adventure because I got to go and swim with the dolphins, and later on in Bluff I got to go and swim with the sharks. And of course my experience with introduction to the marine world was quite cool because the first day I did it I got to go and put on a wetsuit, which was the first time in my entire life I ever wore a wetsuit. Walked onto the beach. Was completely very proud of the fact that I had the only purple wetsuit there. I thought I looked quite smart until the person I was with pointed out that I actually had my wetsuit on back to front, which kind of set the mode for the nature of how the trip would take off from that point onwards. And from there I found myself having this little wonderful thing. I've always sort of been up in the wrong place but at the right place at the same time. And from there I ended up in Bluff. I got picked up by some very wonderful engineers. They took me down there. I met a wonderful chap called Kevin Stoney Burke, who at the moment is in the process of building a 23-metre catamaran based on the early Waitaha design, which is his intention is that when it's finished is to create something that children can learn to a little bit about nature and at the same time learn how to say please and thank you. Through Stoney I got the wonderful chance to go to Stewart Island. I got to meet people like David Hannigan, who's a third-generation mariner. I got to catch up with my wonderful friend Walter McIntosh, who worked for the Central Intelligence Agency for 20 years, and a whole host of very incredible people that made me really understand what an amazingly, incredibly innovative place Bluff actually is and what wonderful people are. And it's actually the weird thing is I've been to Bluff now about 8 or 9 times, and I find every time I go there I discover I've got more and more true friends there than I've possibly been throughout the rest of the country. Incredible place, lots of heart. It took me into Invercargill. Throughout Invercargill, obviously, I got to catch my good friend Tim Showbell, and that's correct. Not a good friend, but another interesting chap. First time I ever met Tim, I was hitchhiking and he picked me up in the Merrill Bentley. And through that I got to know him, interviewed him a few times, meet people like Martin Evans, who have real contributions to the culture scene of Invercargill, and a little bit of an oasis of an ILT drought. But at the same time, this is a place that has things like the Southern Institute for Technology, which have really been a bit of a breath of fresh air to Southland and capture that real Burt Monroe culture. And from Invercargill, I found myself obviously going up to Riverton. Through there you've got wonderful places like the Riverton Arts Centre, the Riverton Environmental Centre, and one of the places which I missed that time around, but I only discovered today, is this actually wonderful little cabin called the Captain Phillips Survival Accommodation Centre, which if you ever get a chance to go and check it out, because it's something quite different. And this is, again, what I was trying to do all the way throughout my journey was find people, little unsung Kiwi heroes that were doing different things, and I've captured them in this book, I think successfulully well. And again, through my contacts in Bluff, they told me to come here to the Last Lodge. I wasn't intending to, but fate had other plans for me, and I ended up staying here, and I got to find out this wonderful music place, which to my mind rates right at the same time as some of the places such as the Muscle and the Ninchvale, which are very high caliber institutions that offer something a bit different and original music, which is, that's something that really gives us that vehicle to drive that point of difference. Through being here in last night, I actually had to race through Fiordland and Manapuri, and at the end of the day they actually had to be part of the journey, which it worked out quite perfectly, but it also set the mood for this sort of little esoteric journey of things that just serendipitously happen, which eventually took me through to Wanaka. And I met again all sorts of great, fantastic people in Wanaka, but it was sort of when I went to the West Coast and I really began to get into that whole real Middle Earth kind of aspect of the book, when I was open at the Haast Gates, which is the home of the Haast Eagle. And if you're not familiar with the Haast Eagle, it's an eagle that, just like Lord of the Rings, is a giant eagle. It had a wingspan of about 16 metres. Each of its talons had a knife claw, which is about 10 to 15 centimetres long. And they reckon that basically you had to be the size of a bullock if you didn't want to be picked up by this thing. And I've always thought the Haast Eagle was a major tourism coin that's just been blown away. And not long ago, a politician suggested that we should possibly actually clone the moa and bring back the moa. And I thought, stop the moa, we should actually clone the Haast Eagle. I thought this would be an amazing contribution to tourism, and it inspired the following poem. We'll get there eventually. Always perfectly production. Aha! On the very first page I went to begin with. Murphy's Law, the theme of the journey continues. So this is a little poem about the idea about cloning the Haast Eagle. I call it not adventure tourism, but adventure terrorism. A politician once chirped cheerfully, with science we could bring back the marvellous moa. Would that not be most horrific? Oh no! That would be horrific, crowed the activist aghast. Yet I can't help but think of the mighty Haast. Would it not be fun to see this resurrected phoenix carry off backpackers and fat tour bus zombies? Never fear, our Minister of Tourism John Key would spin when he heard the terrible news. Think of this as new branding opportunity for neoliberal adventure terrorism. And from that we'll bring back Catharticus, and then I'll turn around to a little bit about my West Coast adventures, and then Nelson, and we'll take it from there.